That's right. If you're listening to this right now, that could only mean one thing. We are within 24 hours away from MSU football kickoff. Let's go!
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing? I already know that answer. We're all doing great right now because it's game day. Guys, we are within 24 hours from our Spartans kicking off against those Broncos down the road, and we're going to hammer it all out here on this show. We're going to talk about why the offense can have some fireworks as early as tonight, guys, right? Like, that's going to be a great time. Hopefully, I'll just knock on wood right now before we just jinx anything. It's not like we ever do that here on Locked On Spartans. We're going to talk about, what we could actually celebrate in this game against a group of 16. We're going to talk about what we could, potentially panic over here if things don't go our way on Friday night. Not that we ever overreact to anything on this show, but we're going to talk about it all, the highs, the lows. We're going to get into the mix on both Michigan State and Western. So let's start on the offensive side of the ball because, guys, I do expect fireworks on Friday night. And no, not just the ones that Jay Batt was referring to on yesterday's show. If you missed that episode, go ahead. Hey, yeah, that's right. We talked to the athletic director of Michigan State. It was a great chat with Jay Batt. But it's not just us. It's not just, maybe you at home. It's also FanDuel, guys, right? Because they have Michigan State's team total at 35.5 points. Now, that is a lofty number. Actually, Michigan State hasn't scored more than 35 points in a home opener since Youngstown State in 2021. If you want an opener against an FBS opponent, you got to go all the way back to 2018 against Utah State. So it is a big number. It's a tough number to hit. But here's maybe why MSU can hit it on Friday night. I mean, yeah, sure, the whole Power 4 team against a group of 16, we will talk about that. But, guys, let's just talk about only ourselves, just Michigan State. What happened this offseason? Well, a lot of the same from last season. As a matter of fact, guys, Michigan State is just one of 3 Big Ten teams to return their head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and their quarterback. Wisconsin and Rutgers, Illinois and Rutgers, the only other 2 teams in the Big Ten that can say that. You got Aidan Chiles to Nick Marsh returning. That is the second highest yards amongst returning quarterback and wide receiver duo in the Big Ten, guys. They upgraded in the speed department. They got Amari Kelly, Christian McCray from Kent State, Rodney Bullard from Valdosta State. And guys, they also bolstered the red zone targets. Now, a lot of those are guys from last year. Your tight ends, Jack Velling, Brennan Parachek, Michael Masunas, but they also went and got 6'3" wide receiver Evan Boyd, who was Central Michigan's leading receiver until injuries knocked him out for the last 3 or 4 games of the year. Guys, so this is what we can celebrate this Friday because, look, we've done this. We've made a whole to-do of, what can you really celebrate? You're a Power 4 team. You're the Big Ten, big brother. What can you really glean from a game against a team like Western Michigan, a team that was voted to finish 7th in the MAC? Yeah, if you do really good against them, whoop-de-doo. I mean, yeah, sure, we're going to celebrate the touchdowns. We'll have a good time at Spartan Stadium, but really, can you celebrate much from this game? Actually, there's a few things that I do want to highlight here. Yes, a lot of it is just doing your job, but I don't think it's nothing if Aidan Chiles goes out there, he's accurate, he's smart with the ball. I think that is opponent irrelevant. Like, you could celebrate that just immediately on Friday. Now, I'm not saying that you can go ahead and book your tickets to Pasadena or that we're going to line up parade floats up and down Grand River, but no, this is something that you can golf clap if we do see. Like last year. I mean, guys, let's just go ahead and rewind the VHS tape a little bit here. Last year, it was a slow-ish start for Aidan Chiles as his first year as a starter. In his first 6 games, 8 interceptions, and Pro Football Focus had him at 14 turnover-worthy plays. Seemingly 12 of them happened against Boston College, if you remember that game. But, guys, he tightened that up in the last 6 games of the year. Just 3 interceptions, just 6 turnover-worthy plays. Can he be accurate on Friday night, especially on the deep balls? Because he did struggle with accuracy when going deep as early as the opener last year, if you remember. Now, he ended the season 60th in adjusted completion percentage on 20-plus yard throws. Now, I know that was a lot of words, Adjusted completion percentage, that takes out all the drops, all that good stuff. And these are all deep throws, 20-plus yards. He was 60th in all of Division I football. So can he improve upon that number starting tonight? And also, guys, if he gets in trouble, if he's extending plays, is he tucking the ball and running, getting 6 yards with his legs? Or is he hucking it into triple coverage just because his arm is strong enough to do so? And oh my God, there's Western Michigan's Tate Halleck with an interception. Like, if we can get some progress from Aidan Chiles, we're celebrating. Guys, I'll be quick on this one. Same with the slot receiver, looking like a difference-making position. I think they got a little better in the margins at slot receiver. That's not to dog on the guys from last year, but you had the speed of Christian McCray. That's only going to aid this Brian Lindgren-led offense. The slot receiver, very important position when those guys were over at Oregon State. Now, here's what you can panic about if it should happen. If these items happen, yeah, we're gonna worry here on Locked On Spartans. And you might say, oh, why is this guy always panicking just after one game? What is wrong with him? Now, this is a 30-minute show. We don't have time to get into everything wrong with me. But from a football standpoint, well, allow me to explain myself. If the run game stalls, if it doesn't look like a decisive victory in the run game, yeah, I will be a little worried for the future of this team for the next 11 games. Last year, yeah, sure, 4.8 yards per carry against FAU. That was really aided by the K'Ron Lynch-Adams 63-yard run. If you remember, there was a really tough time running the ball. Nathan Carter, who, by the way, just made a 53-man roster in the NFL. What I've been saying, that he is a plus running back, he just had no help. Go ahead and ask the Atlanta Falcons what they think about that opinion. I think they would agree. He had 19 carries last year against the Owls. 11 times he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. That telegraphed a whole season's worth of issues that was coming down the horizon. And it wasn't just the third and shorts, that infamous 4th and 1 when they tried to ice the game against the Owls and they got absolutely smacked at the line of scrimmage. Guys, it was also just setting the tone on first down, staying ahead of schedule. They were not able to do that. They saw a lot of second and longs, a lot of third and longs because they could not run the ball. If this is all a mirror of what happened last season, yeah, I'm not going to be a happy camper walking outside of Spartan Stadium, guys. Another thing that you could panic about is if Chiles deals with any pressure or continued pressure throughout the game, especially from the right side of the line. I think your left tackle, Stanton Ramil, he's going to have a fine season, okay? The right side is where some issues came last year. They went and got Connor Moore, FCS All-American transfer from Montana State, played 16 games last year, only let up 11 pressures. But within those 11 pressures, 5 of them came in the national title game at the FCS level. Is that something? Is it nothing? Is it because that was the best competition they played the entire season? Or what was it? Can we start seeing good protection from not just the left, but also the right side right off the bat? I sure hope so, because this is what we're looking at with the front four for Western Michigan. The Dame Tucker, okay? He was a backup at Houston, just transferred here this season. Houston, not really great shakes the last few years there. They also have Popeye Williams on the other side of that defensive line, former 4-star transfer out of Louisville. Also a great name. He had 17 pressures last season. Guys, amongst a group of 6 edges, that was 119th. Not outstanding, guys, right? And in the inside, Tyson Lee, this is a 3rd-year starter, 5th-year player for Western Michigan. Solid enough player. And then Marcel Tyler, 3rd-year player at Western Michigan, 1st year starting. Now, guys, there's one item I'm not going to panic about. Truly, if they don't score more than 35 points, I'm not going to light the world on fire. I'm not going to get on here screaming, how could this offense suck immediately? Maybe you don't want to hear it. Maybe you do. I think it's rational to say, hey, first game jitters are still a thing. Yes, Aidan Chiles and Nick Marsh, that's a great connection. Maybe Alante Brown gets in the mix. But outside of those 2 receivers, everyone else is brand new. In practice chemistry and in game chemistry, a little difference. Okay, and truly, it is a little difference. Maybe just a 10th of a second off, perhaps, on a route. But that could make a big difference, guys. So I'm not going to panic if this team just wins the game. Knock on wood, wins the game 28-10, for example, or 33 points. Now, if they score just 13 points, yeah, we're going to have an issue. But if they just don't, shatter through that 35-point ceiling, look, it's not going to be the end of the world early in the season. And, guys, I don't think that they're going to unload the entire clip of plays here against Western Michigan. they might be saving a few items for Boston College, for USC. So, hey, we'll see. But, guys, that was just one side of the ball. We got defense to talk about, but first need to talk all your ears off about Gametime, the single greatest ticketing app out there, guys. College football is back. My God, and I cannot be more excited. The tailgates, rivalries, energy in the stands, there is nothing like it. And let's be real, actually getting tickets, yeah, it could be like more of a battle in the game itself. Sometimes endless queues, hidden fees, the price jumping at checkout. That's why I keep it simple at Gametime. I already got my tickets. I couldn't wait any longer. I got a little too antsy. On Monday. That's right. Come party it up with me, Section 19. It's going to be a great time, guys. But hey, if you don't have tickets, you want to go to this game, you can still save money up until kickoff with Gametime. It is so simple. It's 2 taps on your phone. The tickets are sent straight to you. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, guys, promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Also, guys, need a little bit of help. Let's say that you're in the car, you're driving to your tailgate right now, which first and foremost, thank you so much. Whenever I hear that we're part of anyone's game day routine, very surreal, always blows me away. But more important, let's say that you're riding shotgun, you got some time. Guys, Locked On wants to hear from you. We've put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't like, answer questions about our advertising. So go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started, and there might be something in it for you. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Guys, again, lockedonpodcast.com/survey. All righty, let's flip sides of the ball here. Let's go to the defense. What can we celebrate? What can we panic about? What we can celebrate here, this is a quick item. If you limit their tight end, Blake Bosma, who last year 37 catches, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, I don't think that's not nothing. You know, again, are we going to cannonball in the Red Cedar River? Am I going to rip my shirt off at the end of the game if they hold Blake Bosma to 2 catches, 29 yards, no touchdowns? No. But it shows just a baseline competency and hey, defending a really good red zone target, or a guy that could be lined up against a linebacker in coverage, which if you don't remember the last few seasons, that's kind of been an issue here at Michigan State, is pass coverage at the linebacker position. So you limit Blake Bosma. Hey, you know what? Golf clap that one at the end of the night. Okay, glad we got through what we can celebrate, because maybe the biggest pre-panic that could possibly happen is Michigan State's defensive line against Western Michigan's offensive line, guys, right? If there's not a clear-cut, unanimous decision winner, like a second-round TKO of this one, yeah, you can worry. Because I'm not just going to say, oh, it's because it's a Big Ten team against a Group of 6 team. Oh, it's Western Michigan. No, I've got context here, guys. Like, yes, just on the surface level, it should be a butt-whooping. Defensive line versus offensive line. Even though Michigan State's D-line is full of question marks. But here's what we do know about Western Michigan's offensive line, guys. Now, they got some good news. Like, it's not all bad. The good news for Western Michigan on the offensive line is that everyone has at least 4 years of college experience amongst their starters, okay? Just on the surface. Everyone is old. Everyone's experienced. Now, here's the bad news for the Western Michigan Broncos. Only one guy is returning as a starter from last year's team. That is left guard John Hoffer, fully season starter. Okay, great. Now, their left tackle, Adam Vandervest. He missed all of last season with an injury suffered in fall camp. He had one start the year prior. That's going to be protecting the blind side of these quarterbacks, okay? Now, your center, Raheem Anderson. I apologize. Michigan transfer, okay? Now, he's had 73 offensive snaps over 4 seasons at Michigan. Not necessarily a lot of playing time over there when he was at the Wolverines. The right guard, Hunter Whitenack, Illinois transfer. Now, he was a backup last year for the Illini. Ended his season after 4 games to preserve his red shirt, but still backup on the Illini. And then your right tackle, Zach Vaughn, Wake Forest transfer, 16 games over 4 seasons. He has 99 offensive snaps in his career. I don't mean to dog on these guys, but look, that's the picture to paint. There's a lot of, experience by years, but by snaps on the field at the Power 4 level, it's minimum. If Michigan State can't flex their muscles against that starting unit, What are you going to do against Big Ten offensive linemen? What are you going to do against Boston College's offensive line last year? Which isn't great shakes, but neither is this one. Guys, I apologize ahead of time if it does not look like a decisive victory, but that would be a glaring issue looking down the pike of the rest of the season. Now, what else could we panic about? Is if their quarterbacks make anything happen with their legs. Now, there hasn't been a starter named yet for Western Michigan. It's going to be two guys. They've hypothesized that they'll play both in this game right here. The first that I imagine will play most of the game is Brady Jones. This is the FCS All-American transfer from Riverside. He threw for 1 billion yards. He rushed for about 400 yards last year. 6'4", dual threat quarterback. Yeah, he's got a live arm. He's exciting. So we'll see what we get from him. The other guy who returns from last year's Western team is Brock Lowry. Just 8 pass attempts, 25 carries. If they do bring in Brock Lowry, who's a pretty solid runner, I imagine it'll be kind of what they did with Iowa last year. If you remember that, Caden McNamara, he was the quarterback until they get inside the 10-yard line, and then they had this little gadget formation with their quarterback whose name is escaping me right now. I'm very sorry. But, hey, it could be like hey, I'm going to close out this drive. When he's in the game, odds are he's going to run the ball. But if you can't contain the quarterback, if you, as a quick, more athletic linebacker core than you did have last year, can't contain the quarterback, if the defensive ends can't set contain, they let him just burn and turn and run wild, what's it going to say about the rest of the season here? I don't need a quarterback ending his night with 50-some scramble yards and was able to keep every play alive. Make it look like it did last year against FAU, guys. Okay? Similar situation. Dual threat quarterback. One that I'm pretty sure was concussed for the majority of the game after Malik Spencer detonated him, but that's beside the point. If you could get 7, 8 sacks, okay, we'll celebrate it in the moment at Spartan Stadium, but that's not going to be a referendum from the end of the year. Sure wasn't last year, but just do your job, contain the quarterback, get some pressure, especially against an offensive line. Again, guys, that's replacing 4 starters from last season. Also, one more thing that you could panic about is if the corners just get straight up beat. I know that a lot was said, and these guys were awesome guests earlier this week. We had the guy from the Western Herald, and then we also had the voice of Bronco Sports Radio, Robin Hook. That was a great interview. They said that they really got some speed at the wide receiver position out of the portal. Okay, we also got some guys out of the portal, but if they can't compete with group of 6 transfer speed here, you're not going to compete against USC's speed. You're not going to compete against Nebraska's speed. So, look, if there's a communication breakdown, and let's just go into this, what we won't panic about. I will try my best not to make a referendum of the rest of the season if, communication breakdowns happen, right? Because let's all remember, your cornerback room, outside of Chance Rucker, who barely played last year because of injury, it's entirely new. If there's a communication breakdown, they bust a big play, yes, it'll be annoying. Yes, it'll be a bummer. But you can understand how in the first game of a season, with a whole new crop of corners, how that could possibly happen. But if someone is just straight up beat on like a fly route right down the sideline, that's going to be a concern. But communication breakdown early in the season, expected to happen. It just can't be 5 or 6 of them, obviously. But one other thing I won't panic about is if Jalen Buckley breaks 1 or 2 big runs here. Now, this is going to be Western Michigan's running back. He could be the most talented running back on the field between both teams. Let's see what kind of help he gets from his offensive line, but he was a really solid player last year. A good amount of missed tackles, and this was in split duties. He had 18 runs that went for 10-plus yards last year, again, while sharing the rock with the other running back. But yeah, Jalen Buckley, keep your eye on him. That's a talented player. If he breaks, 2 10-plus yard runs, 3 10-plus yard runs, annoying in the moment, but I'm not going to get here and just, start punching the table out of frustration. So, guys, look, MSU's run game against Western's front 7, I know we're bouncing back and forth here. Now we're back on the offensive side of the ball. I just did want to just riff on this a little bit here. You want to see something, obviously, but maybe this could also be a new situation where you take advantage of a unit that is replacing a lot of starters. We went through their defensive line. It's fine. But it's a largely new linebacker core for them too, guys. Like, they got a sixth-year guy who's a transfer from Murray State. They got a guy from Eastern Kentucky. Like, I know we're trying to break in a lot of running backs. There's a lot of question marks on Michigan State's side. Is it Brandon Tolis? Is it Nikai Frazier? Eli Tolliver, maybe your third down guy? What's the split looking like? Regardless, you just want to have a slight modicum of success against Western's front seven while also not having to beat the brakes off Aidan Chiles' legs. The less you could use his legs on designed runs, the better. Let's preserve his health. Let's preserve our playbook for Boston College here, guys. Now, look, there's a lot of things that you guys also said that what would make you happy. And we're going to get to that first, guys. I need to talk your ears off about upside. That is right. Are you still paying full price for gas? Well, that seems kind of silly. Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already need. At first, I thought it was too good to be true. But it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes or maybe their game day commutes, guys, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, e-gift card. Hey, you get to decide. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now and use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL, guys. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. All right, before getting to, 5 best bets of the week, what you guys want to see on Friday night, just a little bit of injury news that's relevant for tonight. It's a short list, luckily. Nikai Martinez, starting safety the entire season last year. He will be a game-time decision. Didn't practice much in fall camp, did a few snaps on Monday, but this is from an injury that was sustained back in the spring. So longer term, we'll see if they want to get him back on the field. I would not blame them if they don't want to rush him back. Also, Jack Velling, looking to be probable. He started practicing in the fall about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but he was a full go at practice this week. And then the kicking position, Tarek Amatbasek. This is the second string kicker, so to speak. He's going to be a game time decision because Martin Connington, your ideal first string kicker, he's out with the groin injury. But if neither of those guys can go, then it's Blake Sislow, Davenport transfer, was on the team for 3 years, never saw game action. But hey, what better time to start your first collegiate in-game kick in front of 75, 80,000 of your closest family and friends in Spartan Stadium. All right, guys. Now, before going any further, I do want to thank you all for yesterday's episode, the feedback, the reviews, just what we got after the J-Bat interview. I mean, that was sensational from you guys. Never have we had just a better review of an episode, but I did still want to, thank you for, just saying nice things about the show. I want to thank all you guys as well, because in order to get J-Bat, the new athletic director, that takes listenership. That takes, hey, we offer this many subscribers. X amount of people listen and watch the show. That is all on you guys. Not to deflect or pass the praise, but truly, getting him on this show does not happen without all of you guys. So thank you all very much for letting that opportunity happen. We also got incredible luck. The athletic department was great for us. We reached out about interviewing J-Bat, basically the minute he was hired. And sure enough, they kept their word. They said, no, we will work on a date. Weeks go by. They hit me up. They say, hey, he could talk this day, this time. Bang. So thank you all, you guys. And if anyone from the athletic department that had anything to do with scheduling that is listening, which I doubt, hey, thanks a lot, guys. Much appreciated. Now we will get to the 5 best bets. Guys, we've been in the black for 5 best bets for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Surely it's not all going to come crashing down this year, but I just went out to Twitter and I said, guys, what's going to make you happy on Friday nights? Because, look, a lot of it is, oh, great, yeah, you did your job. Oh, you ran the ball well against Western. Woo, whoop-de-doo. But truly, what do you guys want to see? Now, some of you guys came in with a pretty high bar, like Pablo Chacon. He wants 250 rushing yards between Chiles and the running backs. It's not the highest bar in the world, but it's certainly, on the aggressive side. But, hey, you got to see an aggressive number if you want to be happy after playing Western Michigan. No disrespect. Flamingo Brian. Yeah, he set the bar pretty high here. Sparty statue robots marching the field. Coach Smith riding a Segway. Assistant coaches with T-shirt cannons. 3 Frisbee dogs. No flea flickers, but 1 wide receiver backwards double pass. Seems to be that Flamingo O'Brien has already been hitting the tailgate supply, so I will have what he's having. I do love the moxie there. Now, there are a lot of you guys that just had things that were a touch more reasonable. Some that I think are even more reasonable than I would celebrate. So Hunter writes in 5 rushes for more than 10 yards. Now, last year against FAU, there were 6 such instances. One of them did happen on a scramble. But hey, 5 rushes that go for 10 plus yards, not a bad place to start. Tom writes in 1 or less turnovers from the MSU offense. For some reason, Tom was rubbed the wrong way with MSU being second to last in Big Ten turnover margins. So yes, turnovers, 100% a storyline going into the season because, well, it was the storyline to start last season. Brad writes in an offensive line giving Chiles time to throw in a tough secondary. In order for the tough secondary to work, you're going to need something of a pass rush, and I hope to God they could do it against this Western offensive line. Spencer writes in, Aidan Chiles tucking the ball and picking up 5-6 yards on 2nd and 10 when nobody is open downfield. That kind of brings it full circle with what we started this with. If you see Aidan Chiles just being cerebral, smart out there, it's not to say he's not going to have 1 or 2 hiccups, but if he could really limit those and show growth and to try not to make too much out of nothing, yeah, that's something to smile about on Friday night, guys. Spartan D4L, Aidan Chiles protected in the pocket. Did we see a single throw last year when he wasn't on the run? Yeah, I'm sure it happened like once or twice against Prairie View A&M. I'm pretty sure that's probably the last time. No, the Iowa game was fine too, right, guys? Now, some of you guys just wanted pure bedlam on Friday night. Like, the only thing that's going to make Jack smile is a fight in the student section, is what he says. Well, that, you know what? Let's roughen up the student section a little bit. Let's get a little more alive. I know that last year that picture went viral of kids playing Uno during the game. Hey, I'd rather see some fist. You know, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Don't actually do this, guys. Become rowdy, come ready, come aggressive. Vocally aggressive, that is. Steven writes in, fireball shooters raining down from the student section. That would make me smile too. I might go over a few sections and try to cop one of those during the game here. All right, guys, let's get into the Friday tradition here. We do this every week to end the week. It is 5 best bets. Now, last year, we were pretty successful. The year prior, we were like either exactly 500 or one game above 500. We've been doing okay with 5 best bets. Now, of course, hey, the whole slate is available for me to pick. I get to choose, but I do try to. I don't force it. I do try to get some of the biggest games of the weekend here. And there's no shortage of massive games in week 1. And I got to say, I'd kind of be a fraud if I didn't bring this game up anywhere in my 5 best bets. So you already know what I'm talking about. It is FAU, Florida Atlantic University at Maryland. What a showdown that can't be missed here. 60.5 is the over-under at the time of recording here. That's got to be an under. Like, Maryland, true freshman quarterback. I don't think they did enough to fix their offensive line. Do I have any doubts that, like, yeah, one team can get in the 20s, maybe the 30s? Sure, yeah, why not? Let's get nuts. But FAU is also replacing a lot from last year's team, too. 60.5, even if it's already like 49 or not 40 or 59 or 58 by the time of publication, the time you're listening to this, I'd still take the under. I think 60.5 is way too high. So we're going to go under there. And now, guys, the 1 versus 2 or the 1 versus 3 game, depending on what poll you look at, Ohio State versus Texas, I am going to go under 47.5. I'm confident that Griffin, that's nice. How about let's try the correct name here? Arch Manning. That's why it sounded so weird. Arch Griffin would have I would absolutely take the under if it was Archie Griffin under center for the Texas Longhorns here. But also for Arch Manning, I would also take the under here too. I don't want to pick a side. I'm not convinced about either of them, but I am convinced that this could be a slower start for both offenses, and I do like the way both defenses look going into the season. So yes, under 47.5, whether it's Arch Manning, Arch Griffin, whatever. I don't care. We're going under 47.5. Baylor over Auburn. Right now, at time of recording, Auburn favored by 1.5 points, but this line keeps moving every time you look at it. I might just go ahead and do money line for Auburn, but for sake of the spread and everything, I'm going to go Baylor plus 1.5. And also, guys, LSU Clemson. I'm going to go LSU Tigers. I know that the last time that I looked at the spread, it was about a 4-point spread here. So we're going to go with LSU. I don't know why. I just like Nussmeier more than I like Cade Klubnik. And I think both are fine players, but I think Nussmeier comes in with a little more gumption here. So I'm looking it up right now. The spread is 3.5. I will take LSU plus 3.5. And then, guys, to end this game, I will always pick an MSU side here. But allow me to kind of cheat here. I don't know if I've ever done this. I don't think I have, but you guys could correct me if I'm wrong because I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes. I'm not going to do the spread. I'm not going to do the game total, which is 49.5. Michigan State right now favored by 20.5. I'm going to go on a prop. And allow me to do this because this is plus money. This is plus 200. But our guy, Jack Velling, anytime touchdown score, plus 200 on FanDuel, we're going to go with that. I have a feeling. I know that's just like there's no X's and O's talk attached to that. There's no analytics. There's not. Hey, I like Jack Velling against the new linebacker core at Western Michigan. I like the idea of, hey, I know last year statistically, kind of, sort of, really underwhelming in the touchdown department. Let's get you started hot, Mr. Velling. Let's get you started with a touchdown at plus 200. So, guys, to review, FAU versus Maryland, under 60.5. Ohio State versus Texas, under 47.5. Baylor over Auburn, plus 1.5 for the Baylor Bears. LSU, plus 3.5 over Clemson. And then Michigan State, Jack Velling, anytime touchdown, plus 200. Guys, we're here. We made it. We're done with the offseason. It's game time. Whether you're watching from home, enjoy it, guys. Enjoy the setup. Get some great snacks, some great beverages. If you're out there tailgating, guys, let's mix in a water. Let's not be silly out there. Let's be smart. Let's be safe, but also let's get ready to have a good time. I cannot wait. My Section 19 brethren, you better be ready to stand up and get loud. Guys, the next time you hear from me will either be incredibly late on Friday because I am going to the game. I'll have to drive back. This is like one of two games I'm going to be at this year, okay? Thank you very much for your patience ahead of time. I'm going to try Friday night. If my voice is shot, it's going to be the first thing Saturday morning once I get some tea in the system. But, guys, you will be hearing from me within, at most, let's see here, 12 hours after the game is over. And I cannot wait to talk about it. We're here, baby. Oh, God, I just cannot wait to just be on top of the bleachers, jingling the keys on third down. Oh! We did it, guys. We deserve a fun Friday night. We did it. We did it. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. Guys, if you got a half hour more left in your drive, you did not listen to yesterday's episode with Jay Batt, go ahead. Throw that on, guys. You guys are all truly the best. Love every single one of you. I mean that. I will say that to your face if you see me at the tailgates or Spartan Stadium. You guys are the best. Love you all.